Yeah, that's okay, I've got what I needed. It's the Laughing Auditor here again, and I'm coming to you from this location. I'm in Aldershot, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm visiting Aldershot Police Station / Hampshire Constabulary. And yeah, it's a little town this, it's really nice, little military town, lots of barracks and different training sites around about the area. And
he does call himself the Laughing Auditor. He does have 30,000 subscribers. He's at Aldershot Police Station. I'm hoping he's going to give us all a good laugh. I should warn him though, I don't think anybody is as funny as auditing Yorkshire. But you never know, we'll see.
And yeah, it's big massive police station. So I'm going to have a look around and see how they react to a man with a camera, and we'll take it from there.
The immediate problem I can see here is that he's not visiting the police station. That would involve him actually going inside the police station. I've never heard of members of the public who have something to report to the police walking around the outside of the police station first and taking a look at the car park. It's bizarre behaviour really, but more to the point, it raises the question of whether this can truly be considered a photographic audit, because we all expect that the police will come out and challenge somebody looking around their car park. So what is being audited exactly? If in fact what he's doing is some sort of security audit to ensure that the police aren't asleep and are alert enough to spot somebody walking around the car park, then okay, it's still a trespass, and I frankly would personally view it as a bit of a waste of time. But at least there's some sort of understandable rationale behind it. I suppose, thinking about this a bit more, somebody could have a security audit channel in which they deliberately go round trespassing around public buildings and places like prisons and police stations and see if they can breach the security. That could be a legitimate type of auditing, as long as the person doing it appreciates that they will probably get into trouble with the law at some point. Going back to the Laughing Auditor, I don't see the rationale here if he's doing photographic auditing. I think nearly all these auditors have fundamentally misunderstood what auditing is. They seem to think that the point of photographic auditing is that you go to places you don't have the right to be. That's not the case, and it can't be, because you can't test your rights by breaking the law and infringing the rights of others. It's a paradox. The whole point of photographic auditing is that you're going to places where you do have the right to be, and you're there with a camera, and you're conspicuous about it, but you're passively testing your rights by waiting to see what happens and what response you receive, and you're recording it for viewers to see. You're doing it to test whether some authority figure, be it a police officer or business owner or employee or security guard, understands that you have the right to be there and with a camera, and to use the camera, provided you do so in a considerate, common sense manner. The central problem we have with these auditors, including this one, is that they're not doing that. So we're not actually learning anything in their videos about official understanding of photography rights, because that's not what's being tested. Anyway, let's watch on.
And we'll certainly see if we get any laughs out of this lot today. I've been about a few places, and I've just come from Hart District Council over in Fleet. Charming little town, very very nice.
Again, have I misunderstood here? Is he on his way to the entrance now? Is he lost or not sure of the way? I don't understand what he's doing. Maybe he just likes hanging around car parks.
So I do need to be careful, because part of this, I think it's the other side of this, is the Magistrates Court. So it is. Just a police tribunals. Aldershot Justice Centre. No, so this is the court building. So it is. So I do need to be very careful of where I'm filming in around there.
He was referring there to contempt of court laws and the possibility of reporting restrictions. He's right to be cautious.
But yeah, it's a big old police station. There's not much to see about here.
Well, I'm hoping something happens soon. You are supposed to be the Laughing Auditor, after all. I'm not laughing at the moment. I wish a laughing policeman would come out and threaten him with a bazooka or something like that, just to liven it up.
Yeah, a few offices and that.
A few offices and that. Right, thanks. Some cars. Pretty standard, really. You'd think he'd never seen a building before. I mean, is this all leading up to something?
Post van only, maintenance only, so... Oh look, they've got another Skoda. I seen one of them at that Hartsborough Council. Son I did. It's the first time I've seen those little Skoda police cars. I want to stick on this side because I think that might be court buildings on my right. I do not know. No entry, use the other door. And they've barred the window. So yeah, I've got a feeling that's the court building on that side. Over there. There's some police cars over here.
Please, somebody do something. I'm losing the will to live here. I'll just settle for anything. A naked man with a clown face. A laughing policeman with a bazooka. A naked woman would be better. Just anything.
Yes, mate.
Can you go back side, please? This is the backyard of the police station.
It's open to the public.
Mate, this is the backyard of the police station. Mate, you can record outside the front, go in front. I know you're trying to get attention, just walk out.
Alright, first and foremost, I'm not your mate.
Notice the jumping footage that happened there just before the policeman came out. Maybe nothing, but whenever you watch these auditing videos and you see a jump in the footage like that, you should always wonder why, because often it's because they've cut something out that they may not want you to see. But apart from that, I agree a police officer should not really be calling somebody a mate. It is a bit unprofessional. Police officers should be friendly but should maintain a certain detachment. I mean, it's not as if he called him mate in the first place, is it?
Yes, mate.
But apart from that, the police officer is still polite and civil. We could have done without the suggestion from the officer that the auditor only wants attention. I know it's true, but he's the one who has to deal with this auditor, and he has to think about how to deal with him, and that's an important skill that an experienced officer should have. I personally would prefer that officers were a bit smarter in the language they use. Perhaps the police should be training their recruits in neuro-linguistic programming or some similar set of techniques. And one of the things you do in this situation is put the onus on the other person by asking questions and steering him towards where you want him to go in a way that doesn't challenge him emotionally. In this case, the officer should say to him, "Is there anything I can help you with, sir?" When he says, "I'm just filming," the officer can say, "That's fine, sir, let me escort you to the front of the police station where you'll be in the public area and you can film there. And I'll also be happy to answer any questions you may have on the way. Our public reception is also available to you if you need further information." Instead, the officer just tells him flatly that he has to leave, which I think is because being a police officer, he's used to people just doing as they're told, but he has to allow for the fact that here he's dealing with a nutcase. But let's not put it that way. Let's say he's dealing with an unusual person, and so he has to approach it in a cleverer manner. The police and people in the security industry, in my opinion, do need better training in linguistic and social skills, and this is one of the things that auditing really has shown up about police and security staff, that they lack social and emotional techniques for dealing with people. It's really important. I would say it's fundamental to police work especially, and also most public-facing security work, as it helps prevent and de-escalate a lot of needless incidents. Having said all that, the officer is still doing okay. He's made an unfortunate remark, but he didn't ask for this individual to turn up there, and he's probably got lots to do back in the station, so we'll be nice to him and say he's not escalating it. He's polite and civil.
Okay, well, not me, mate.
You can address me as sir, or
okay, sir.
citizen,
Can
or
you
whatever
make
you
me
want.
outside, please?
Putting aside the fact that it was the auditor who called him mate in the first place, the auditor is right to insist that he is addressed as sir. It's polite and professional for police officers to do so. I can say that personally, if a police officer addressed me as mate, he'd get an earful from me about it. I don't appreciate being called mate by anybody, especially not in that sort of situation.
Do you mind identifying yourself, please?
Okay, I'm Sergeant Weir.
Yep.
I'm upstairs. Can you make your way outside, please?
Yeah, I'll go out in a second. Yeah.
Let's now get down to the brass tacks of it. The auditor is on private land, and the police officer is the authorised agent of the occupier and has asked the auditor to leave. The police officer has made what I consider one mistake in not asking him why he is there, but he's clearly correct in his assumption that this is a time waster. The auditor is trespassing because he does not have implied permission to wander round the back of a police station and a police staff car park, and there is no legal justification under, let's say, Article 10 of Schedule 1 of the Human Rights Act 1998 that could address the trespass and require us to balance the occupier's rights with the auditor's rights as, say, an investigative journalist or citizen vlogger or something like that. He's trespassing. He does have to leave.
No, can you make your way outside now? This is the backyard police station.
Yeah. Why is it open though? That's what I'm curious about.
Well, because the gate's broken at the moment.
Yeah, don't touch me, please.
Well, can you make your way then, please?
Yeah, but don't touch me.
Okay, listen to me.
I'll go off my own free will, not a
Okay.
problem, but you're not going to put your hands on me.
First of all, the fact the gate is open is irrelevant to trespass. You are trespassing. An open gate is not an invitation for all the world to enter unless there is some sort of implied permission to do so, which there isn't for you. Second, the officer has asked you several times to leave, and you haven't, and there comes a point when your failure to leave can be taken as a tacit refusal to leave, and at that point the officer can put his hands on you and physically eject you. I think we are at that point already.
I'm asking you to walk.
Okay.
Okay, listen to me.
I am listening.
If you don't walk,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you to walk by helping you walk.
Yep.
Okay.
That's a warning from the officer that unless the auditor leaves, he will be physically ejected. In common law, the officer is entitled to use such reasonable force as is necessary to eject a trespasser. Any occupier of private land or the agent of an occupier is entitled to do this in common law.
Okay.
I don't need help walking. I'm a grown man.
Well, which way, please?
I'll go on my own time. You're not going to put your hands on me. Are you-
When he says, "I'll go in my own time," I'll take that as a tacit refusal to leave. Either this man does not understand trespass, or he's just provoking the use of force for the purpose of views on YouTube.
Are you okay? You seem a bit worked up. Why are you grabbing me like that?
Hey, okay.
Why are you grabbing me like
said
that?
you could
Wow.
actually leave.
You've messed up. You know that? Yeah, you've messed up big time, officer.
You can
Big
stay
time.
outside.
So you're sergeant?
Yes, I am.
Oh, mate, you've messed up. You don't know what you've done.
Well, see,
Yeah.
the gate's broke now. The gate is broke.
The gate is
Yeah,
broke, so it's open to the public. Take your hands off me.
As I've explained, he's on private property. Whether the gate is open or not, and whatever the reason may be for the open gate, it is private property, and trespass is trespass. An open gate is not an invitation for all the world to enter. I don't know if a laughing auditor can grasp that and take it in, but he can't complain if he refuses to leave and he's thrown out as a result.
Take your hands off
That's
me.
right.
I'm out. Take your hands off me.
That's right.
I am out. Take your hands off me. You've messed up big time, Sergeant.
The sergeant hasn't messed up. It's simple, really. The laughing auditor was trespassing. He refused to leave. The sergeant is entitled in common law to use such reasonable force as is necessary to eject him from the premises. And he's done so. He's done his job.
Thank you very much for the payday. I'm going to enjoy spending it. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's okay. I've got what I needed.
You got what you needed. As well as simple trespass, which is a civil matter, let's consider whether the laughing auditor has committed any criminal offences. First, we should take a look at Section 68 of the Criminal Justice and Public Order Act 1994, which makes aggravated trespass an offence. I think this was an aggravated trespass. It should not be in the normal course of duties for a police officer to have to escort people from the back of police premises. The only possible legitimate reason for the laughing auditor to be there would be if he was lost. The broken gate had confused him. He thought this was the entrance to a police station. That was not the case here. Second, the words "I got what I needed" tell me that the Laughing Auditor has been intentionally wasting the time of the police with the aim of engineering an incident, the type of incident we have just seen. Section 89 of the Police Act 1996 makes it an offence to willfully obstruct a police constable in the line of his duty. Intentionally wasting police time is a form of obstruction. Third, I believe the Laughing Auditor also committed the offence of being found in an enclosed yard for an unlawful purpose, contrary to Section 4 of the Vagrancy Act 1824. The unlawful purpose would be simple trespass, to which we can add aggravated trespass and obstructing a police officer. The Laughing Auditor may try to argue in his defence that the police officer only escorted him to another area of the private car park rather than to the public highway. You'll see in a moment that he is still on police premises, but I assume the reason for that is that the officer was on his own and probably did not want to have to carry him all the way to the public highway. In other words, it was purely a practical matter, and the officer felt it was sufficient at that point to remove him from the enclosed area at the back. None of that implies that the Laughing Auditor has some sort of implied permission to be in the car park. He is still, at this point, trespassing.
Have a nice day, Sergeant. I'll see you in the IOPC investigation.
Well, if there's going to be an investigation of the incident we've just seen, surely it should be an investigation of the Laughing Auditor, who seems to think he's going to be laughing all the way to the bank. He should be crying in court instead, but I suppose that will be too much to ask.
Wow!
Wow!
Bye! He's messed up. So, ladies and gentlemen, geez, it went from 0 to 100 real quick. Sergeant, I didn't even catch his name. Jeez, he literally gripped me up. That was not reasonable force at all.
Of course, you're the expert on this, an unbiased expert at that. You've definitely not got a financial interest in it. It definitely can't be the case that you've engineered the whole thing for a payout.
Because as you know, as soon as someone goes hands-on, I don't resist and I don't fight back. And yeah, he's messed up big time. Sonny has. So I've had something similar. There is ongoing investigations.
You've had something similar? You mean you go around the country scamming police forces for compensation? Maybe we should call you the Scamming Auditor instead. How many have you turned over? You should be on some sort of wanted list, shouldn't you?
And there is ongoing civil action. Geez, my back is hot. I've got a dodgy back as it is. Where did he go? Jeez, man with a funny accent. He's 0 to 100. Wow. It's you've got this private car park here. Apparently I'm allowed to be in here. And
apparently I'm allowed to be in here. That doesn't sound very convincing to me. Does this apparent permission include permission to film in windows too? I mean, somehow I really doubt that you are allowed to be in there. I think it's much more likely that it just happens to be the case that no one's bothering you. You're still trespassing.
He carried me all the way past this car, this silver car. That was insane.
I can't believe he's just walked back in again after he was ejected. And he expects to claim compensation too. I suppose his name does suit him because he really is having a laugh. I won't comment further. I think one day he'll be laughing on the other side of his face.